All right, our fifth and final module, rhythm. So this module will teach you how to structure and groove to your music. So here is a measure of written music. So a measure is the full 4 beats with our time signature, and it's 4 beats because we're in 4/4. We'll go over that. We have our clef, but we're not going to teach that just yet. And then we have our notes in there, and then we have our staff, which is the 5 lines and 4 spaces in which we place our notes. So this is what a measure of music looks like. Now, our time signature. Time signature does come in numerous variations, but the most common of them is 4/4. So a 4/4 time signature means 4 beats per measure, and a quarter note gets 1 beat. So the top 4 means the amount of beats per measure, so it's 4 beats, and the bottom 4 means the kind of note that equals 1 beat. So in this, the quarter note is 1/4 of the measure. It's just math. I know it sounds confusing, but it's actually pretty straightforward. So this is our quarter note, and we'll go over the kinds of notes shortly. And as you can see, there are 4 quarter notes, which makes 1 measure. If we were to play this as a pattern, we would count it out like 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 4 measures right there of 4 beats. Now, here's our notes. So musical notation is your language of sounds, and typically there are 6 kinds of notes. So this is all in 4/4 times, where the quarter note is the value of 1 beat. So an eighth note has the value of half a beat. The quarter note will equal 1. The dotted quarter note is a beat value of 1.5. The half note has a beat value of 2. The dotted half note has a beat value of 3. And a whole note will have the beat value of 4. And if you notice, the dot increases the length of a note by 1.5 times. So for example, our quarter note is 1, and our dotted quarter note is 1 times 1.5, which is 1.5. Or our half note is 2, and our dotted half note is 2 times 1.5. Half of 2 is 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So this means in 4/4 time, the following examples are all the equivalent of 1 measure. So if it's all just eighth notes, that's 8 eighth notes, which equals 1 measure. Or in quarter notes, 4 quarter notes, or 2 half notes. That's 2 half notes. And lastly, the whole note. Pretty straightforward. So here's some examples to try clapping along to. So for example, our original quarter notes, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if we add some eighth notes in there, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Our third example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And our last example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's get a little more complicated. This has some dots in there. So this is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Haha. Next up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. A little more complicated. Next one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the last one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Now, of course, there isn't just notes, there's also silence. So we have our rests. So notes can be replaced by rests, which is simply silence. So they're the exact same values. We have our eighth rest, which is a rest value of 0.5, a quarter rest, which has a rest value of 1, a half rest, which has a rest value of 2, and a whole rest, which has a rest value of 4. And there's also dotted rests, which increase the length of the rest by 1.5 times, exactly the same as dotted notes. Now let's try some examples with rests as well. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? The rests are silence. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Third one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then just 4 notes of silence. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Pretty straightforward, right? That's all of them in order. And that's it. That teaches you the basics of notes and rhythms and rests. That teaches you time signature. That teaches you about a measure. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the community. I'm here to help. That's what this is all about. I just want to help you get to a point where you can confidently go into music creation and know what you're actually freaking doing. So go make something, see what you come up with, and share it with us. I'm excited to see it.